Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brooklyn, and for today's video I'm going to be doing a reading vlog. Now in today's reading vlog I have 3 new releases that are perfect for summer that I've been dying to read, and I'm so excited to start them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and without further ado, let's get started. Before we get started with this video, I wanted to update you guys on my nails. I redid them. If you watched my previous video, I think 2 videos ago, I mentioned that I would update you guys every time I did my nails because I do these myself and we have a new set. I did these for my cousin's wedding last week. I absolutely love them. They're so cute. They're blue. I feel like they're very perfect for summer, but I just wanted to update you guys because I said I would and I'm very proud of them. So I'm going to keep the books that we read in this video a little mystery, but I promise you that these are really good releases that have come out by very popular authors, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of talk about these on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram or wherever you get your book news from. But for the first book that we will be starting in this video, Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. First of all, the cover of this book is absolutely stunning. I bought this on my trip to Australia and I knew I was going to buy a book when I was there because the covers are different than the ones in the US, and this one is absolutely stunning. In terms of the actual book, just like everyone else, I love Emily Henry's writing and I think her stories are really great. Personally, my favorite, if you'd like to know my rankings, which none of you asked, here are my current rankings for Emily Henry books. I cannot tell you as of now, as I'm seeing this, what my favorites are in a specific order, but editing me will have that all sorted out. But I can say for a fact that People We Meet on Vacation is my #1 Emily Henry book. I just connected a lot with it and I love that book so much, and they're coming out with a movie, so someone hold me back. I have seen a lot of split reviews on this book. I've seen people really enjoy this book, and then I've also seen people really not enjoy this book and kind of call it boring, so I'm very curious to see my opinions. This is definitely a bigger copy of this book. I don't know if that's just like the printing style, but in Australia the book sizes are definitely different than the ones here in the US. This video will be spoiler free. For the most part, I know that this book follows 2 writers who are trying to compete for a story, I believe, for this one woman who has this grand life, and then we also get a part of her story in this book. I will give you guys a full little summary of it once I fully understand the book. I think I'm going to go into it blind. Without further ado, let's get started. I am sick right now. Listen, I was gonna read for like 15 minutes and then it just started getting good. And then my music is musicking. First of all, Emily Henry's writing, as we all know, is amazing. I feel embarrassed for Hayden in this specific scene. Like, I actually felt the embarrassment from his like slip up. I'm currently on chapter 13, page 140 to 141, and page 1 to 41 of this version of this book is gonna be my demise. So I'm gonna get my reaction because I might cry. Hayden Anderson. This, we literally just witnessed an emotional roller coaster of reading an Emily Henry book firsthand. I'm back to loving him. I can't do it for long. I can't hate him for long. He's also tall. I can't forget that. So yeah, he's back into my good graces, but I'm very curious to see where the story's gonna go now because he did share some very vital information with us. I'm hoping for like an underdog win, if you know what I'm talking about. But I'm like giggling right now. I honestly don't want to go to bed, but I'm probably gonna have to very soon. It's so good. This book is actually so good. So I'm kind of confused why people say they didn't like it, but we will continue reading and see if that question answers itself or if people are just really harsh critics. It takes me such a long time to get through Emily Henry's books, but they're just so good. Hayden, though, in this book, page 202, I don't know if it's different for other books because this version is a little bigger. I'm just going to read you guys something, a quote, very out of context, but let me just say the tension between these two is insane. It's actually insane. I'm giggling. I'm smiling while reading this. Him starting, Hayden says this, "God, Alice," he hisses, "we'd be so good together." The tension, it's growing and it's getting insane. Like, these 2 are insane. I just had to like say that because I turned off my camera, and right when I turned it off and I was reading this part, I literally go It's insane. I am basically halfway through the book. I remember someone's review of this book saying that Hayden and Alice felt more like friends. Obviously, we'll see how this book ends, but I'm not getting that vibe at all from them. I don't know. I'm eating it up. They're just something about them. I think because he's tall and she's tall and we love a tall couple. I will continue reading, giggle over Hayden and the things he says and the tension that's currently happening in this book because it is actually insane. Yesterday, I finished Emily Henry's Great Big Beautiful Life, and I absolutely loved it. I binged it from like 11 a.m. all the way to 4 p.m. I had like 200 plus pages, and I was like, you know what? This is taking me almost a month to read, so I am going to finish it now. For some reason, Emily Henry's books always take me the longest to read. I feel like I'm just sitting and enjoying them, and I also annotate and underline and write in them, so I think that's also what takes a while for me, but I thoroughly enjoy her books while reading them. I ended up giving this book 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. I loved Hayden. I loved Alice. I loved the little setting that we were in. Everything about this book was so good. The amount of tension that was between Hayden and Alice really locked it in for me. And also, I really like Margaret's story, which is the woman that Alice and Hayden are competing to write her story. I don't know. I've just seen a lot of mixed reviews on this, and I was very hesitant going into it because I've seen people who like love Emily Henry say that this wasn't their favorite book from her, saying that there wasn't really a romance between Hayden and Alice and that Margaret's story wasn't that interesting. I don't know what book they read because this book was so fun. I was invested into Margaret's story and her reasoning for having them come to the island, the competition between the two of them, and them basically interviewing her and figuring out the pieces of the story. The whole time I was trying to figure out who was going to end up getting the job. Just the way that she connected everything was just beautiful to me, truly. Like, the way that Emily Henry's brain works when she writes is just, she's a mastermind. She truly is. And I love this book. It is probably the second favorite book of mine. I still love People We Meet on Vacation. That is still my number one, but this one's definitely number 2. I feel like I need to reread Beach Read and Book Lovers because those were like my first 2 books that I read from her. And I think I blacked out while reading them because I finally awoken while reading People We Meet on Vacation in this one. But I love this book. Hayden Anderson. And they were both tall too. So I love that aspect of it. And there was like so many parts of the book where they'd sit in a booth at a restaurant and she'd say like, our knees bumped. And I was giggling at that because yes, like we love a tall couple. I also just love how in every book, there's some writer in the book. Obviously that's her like thing. And I love a little competition between writers and that little almost tension, but there's that competition between the two of them where one of them wants the job, but they're also falling for each other. It's just so good. So I would highly recommend reading it. This is obviously well known for her books, but I appreciate that she highlights different aspects and it's not just a romance. It highlights Margaret's story and the things that Margaret has learned in her life. And then we focus on Alice and her relationship with her family and her mom. And then we learn about Hayden and how he grew up and what his family was like. It's just all of it's so meaningful and there's lessons in everything and every aspect of her story and this story specifically. I just love it so much. I miss Hayden. I want David Cornswet to play him. He could play every Emily Henry character. I don't care, but him playing Hayden would be 10 out of 10. Let me tell you, there were some things that this man said that had me gagged, truly. I just knew once I finished the book, I was like, immediate 5-star. The way it ended too, so interesting, so cool. And that's what really solidified the 5-star rating for me. Don't listen to the people who said the story wasn't interesting. If you're invested in the characters, you'll be invested in Margaret's story and all of it will come full circle and you will enjoy it. So that is my rating for this. Now we will begin our next book for this video, One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. I have been really wanting to read this. Everyone and their mom has probably already read this. My mom has even read this book, so I am behind the curve. But this follows Charlie, who was from the first book, and that's like the older brother. And this I feel like is his redemption arc. If you know anything about that book, this is his redemption arc. And it also, I don't know if the girl is Alice. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have 2 Alices, Alice and Hayden, and then we have Alice and Charlie. I'm very excited to start this book. I will update you guys once I'm kind of into it and can give you more of a detailed description of what is going on in this story. I started reading this book last night. I only got to page 23, chapter 4. So far, I have no complaints about this book. I am very excited. I already know Charlie as an MMC isn't going to be your typical MMC, I think, from Carly Fortune. I feel like a lot of the men that she's written about are they're very mysterious. They kind of have a hard shell that you have to crack to see their softer insides. I definitely feel like with Charlie, she had a little part in the beginning of the book talking about Charlie as a character and her writing him, that he was just different than the other male characters that she's written fiction because she didn't really base herself off him, so it was more fun to be more creative with him and his personality and stuff, which I think is really fun. Even reading how he is speaking to Alice over the phone, they have had like one little minor interaction just texting each other, and he's already very confident, very straightforward, upfront with her, and she is also, I think, definitely a people pleaser, so I'm very excited to see like that dynamic. Alice is a photographer. Her nan ends up getting hurt and like broke her hip. Now Alice has to help her nan because all of her siblings and her parents can't really miss time off work, but since she's a photographer, she has more of a free schedule. So she notices her nan isn't her cheery self. She figures some time at the lake would do her some good. So that's definitely what kickstarts this book, the interaction already between Charlie and Alice. I'm very excited to continue reading. I will update you guys once I'm further into the story, but I'm really enjoying it. Definitely just typical Carly Fortune read. I would say it does take some time. It's kind of a slower start, but I know once the romance and stuff builds and the plot grows, it'll become more interesting. Another aspect of Carly Fortune's books, very similar to Emily Henry's, is that it's not just all about the romance. There's different aspects in this story revolving other relationships with other people in these characters' lives and showing the growth of how they develop as people and how they nurture and fix these connections and relationships that sometimes aren't the best. I'm very excited to keep reading. I just wanted to update you guys on what I've read so far and how I'm feeling about it. So I have finished One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. I love this book. I ended up giving it 5 stars. It is definitely a solid 5-star. Throughout the whole time I was reading this book, I was smiling and giggling and just had such a good feeling in my heart while reading it. It was just so good. Just like Emily Henry, I definitely feel like Carly Fortune's stories and her books are not just centered around a romance. Like, yes, that's the main point of the book, but I feel like she always hits really important topics like family relationships, self-discovery, grieving process, and just how that can affect relationships romantically and platonically with other people and just how you view yourself. So I really love that aspect of her stories. Carly Fortune is slowly becoming one of my favorite authors ever. I just love her stories. Just that summer vibe of going to lake is just so good. So I love those aspects of her books. I definitely connected a lot with Alice in this story. It kind of starts off with her desire to connect back to her adolescent age and try and find that feeling that she once had when she was younger, when she first started her passion, which was photography. I just really loved her character growth and the way that she spent her summer doing the things that she loved and made her feel happy. And it just really made me happy because I'm like, you know what? Write your own story. This is your life. Do what you want to do, make a list, do whatever, and just have fun. It really was such a fun book. Charlie is probably one of my top MMCs from any book. I have a list on my notes app and I put him at the top. Truly, he is one of my favorite men. I even made a note for him in my notes app saying what doesn't he do, and it was just a long list of all the sweet things that he did for Alice and her nan, and it was just the sweetest thing ever. I loved his character. I mentioned this earlier in the video how Carly Fortune kind of, I would say, experimented with his character because he wasn't like all of her other MMCs, and she was able to have kind of like a different persona or like vibe with him. He was just flirty and fun, but he also had his own issues that he kept to himself, and seeing him grow, and just, it was so good. I loved it. And even reading him in Every Summer After to now, like, you could just see his full personality and character is just so good. But he's also matured. He's older now, and being able to spend time with Alice at the lake has allowed him to also enjoy his adolescence when he feels like he's kind of like tarnished it from the actions that he did in the first book. If you've read it, I don't know if he's meant to be blonde. I kind of got confused while reading it because majority of the time I did picture David Cornswet as him. It's just the dimples. Every time there was a mention of a dimple from Charlie, David Cornswet, that is that man. So if he is blonde hair, I ignored that. I really enjoyed this book. It just really made me feel hopeful for my future and excited and not scared to grow up and just to enjoy things, and that you can have fun when you're older too. But I just really enjoyed this book. It was a really sweet, endearing book, and it's a great end of summer book. If you have not yet read it, you still have time before fall really hits. I definitely love this book and I would recommend it. It is definitely one of my favorite, if not my favorite book from her. Like, I want to be in this world so bad. So I love this book. I definitely recommend it. So we have one final book for this video, and if if you could not see already from the graphics of this video, it is Problematic Summer Romance by Ali Hazelwood. You guys know Ali Hazelwood is my favorite author ever. I love her books. I love her stories and her writing. You could just tell when it's an Ali Hazelwood book. Scrap the cover and I would read the first page and be like, that's Ali Hazelwood. Like, I know it. I feel it in my bones. So I'm very excited to read this. This follows Maya and Connor from Not in Love, which is Maya's brother Eli in that book, and then Connor is Eli's best friend. Just as the title says, is a problematic summer romance. They have a big age gap between the two of them, so that's kind of why it's that like problematic, probably forbidden aspect of the story. I did start this yesterday after I finished One Golden Summer. I made it to page 45, and so far I'm enjoying it. All that has happened is Eli and Rue want to have their wedding in Italy, so it's a little destination wedding, and I've gotten to the part where Maya is now in Italy and she speaks with Connor, and there's some like weird history they have going on that's slowly getting revealed. We're just kind of like learning more of Maya as a character. She has like a little past with her childhood and how she was raised and everything that happened. I kind of forgot what happened in Not in Love, but she recaps it a little bit in this, so it's helping. I wish I remembered it a little better. The details are a little fuzzy for me, but I am enjoying this and I'm excited for it to pick up. So far it's just very intro, laying the groundwork, and then it's going to really get into it, but I'm enjoying it and I'm just so excited to read this. I have been eyeing this thing. It's been on my shelf for the longest time and I'm just so excited to start it. So I will check back in once I've read more of it and I can give you guys more of an update of my thoughts and feelings. So it is the next day. I read last night for a good chunk of time. I made it to page 129, chapter 14. I am really enjoying this. It's definitely slower pace, slow burn vibe, but I'm really enjoying it. There's a then and now timeline, kind of. It goes back 3 years to when she was in Ireland for school. It just kind of gives us background information that we may need for the current event, which is the wedding between Eli and Rue. I do have some thoughts. So the first thought that I was thinking last night is that there's so many like scientific or like science terms. I never know what's going on, especially in Not in Love. I really wasn't catching on to half the conversation that was happening. So that's one thing. And then another, I feel like she's using a lot of big words. And it's not even words that are like, oh, that's just a big word and it's well known. No, I don't even know some of these words. So I downloaded a dictionary app last night on my phone and I'm looking up, I'm learning as I'm reading. So that is just something I thought was funny because I'm like, why do I not know what that means? Because I've never seen it before. There are some parts in this, like her writing style, that remind me a lot of Lucas from Deep End. And if you do not know, Deep End is my favorite book of all time. I'm actually currently re-listening to Deep End for like the 6th time. So I don't know if that's the best idea for me to be listening to that and reading this book because I don't want that to skew my rating for this book. It's just funny because the way she was like describing his scent or like something that he says. What is like that joke on TikTok where it's like seen an X. Like that's how I feel with Ali Hazelwood's writing and all of her men because they're all the same font. There's also parts in the book where Connor calls Maya trouble, and if you do not know or if you've not read One Golden Summer, which is the book I just read, Charlie calls Alice trouble throughout the whole book, so I thought that was really funny. And I'm going to keep reading. I'm going to try and read a good chunk today. Once again, all of Ali Hazelwood's books, I never really worry about the time while I'm reading. I get really caught up in the world and I could probably read her books for hours if I didn't have anything else to do with my day. I'll come back when I am halfway or like 75% way through or until something really interesting pops up. I am really enjoying it. I can't stop thinking about Deep End. Someone needs to take away my Audible account, take away the book, take away any ounce of Deep End from me because that book truly has ruined every other Ali Hazelwood book for me. It has. even like thinking about this book on Goodreads, it's labeled as Not in Love #2. It's like a duology kind of to Not in Love because it follows similar characters in that book. But in Deep End, it was like fresh characters, fresh setting. We had a little bit of a cameo from Adam and Olive, but beyond that, like we had our own world we were developing, and it was just like a nice, great segment of like scenarios and situations. Just felt so real. I think I peaked reading that book. That book is my peak. Truly, I don't think anything will ever top it. Like, I love Divine Rivals, for example. I don't think that will ever come close to it. Two different genres. We were talking about contemporary romance and like fantasy, but Deep End is just really good. Sorry. Okay. It's one of those things too. I think I read it at the perfect time in my life. I was in college. I was a student athlete. Like, I was living the experience. I wasn't a swimmer or a diver. It was just a perfect storm. So anyways, I just wanted to update you guys on that. There's a fly that's like attacking me right now. So I got to go and read. That's all I have for my update. And I will see you guys once I'm like 75% through. Unless something significant happens, this will probably be my last update for this book. What? Ben. What are you doing? What do you want? No, Ben, there's no room for you. No, Ben, I'm reading. Alright, you can sit at the end of it. So I have finished Problematic Summer Romance by Allie Hazelwood. I finished this last night and I ended up rating this 4 stars. I did enjoy this book. I will always love Allie Hazelwood's writing. Any sort of writing she does, I am there. But I did feel like this one was very up and down. I didn't feel like it was very problematic or forbidden as much as I hoped or expected it to be. Like, obviously the trope is age gap, so there's that little bit of like problematic part to it, but I just feel like there needed to be more. Did like that it was a continuation of Not in Love, and we're seeing more characters in that world, even though like Allie Hazelwood's world, all the characters kind of connect in some way. I always have a high level of enjoyment when reading her books. I would say some of them differ on the level of enjoyment that I have. Like Deep End is my 6+ star from her, and then I would say Love on the Brain is kind of a lower end of that, but I still enjoyed the book. This one fell into one of those categories, like an in between. I love the summer setting. It was really fun. I think this is a great book to read during the summertime, even though summer's basically done. It was a great way to wrap up my summer. It was just very atmospheric and it made me want to go to Italy. So I love that aspect of the story. I loved Eli and Rue and seeing their wedding happen. I definitely wish I remembered Not in Love a little better than I do. It would have helped me, I feel like, transitioned into this book with more of a desire to follow Connor and Maya. But I do remember reading Not in Love and having their little like banter and stuff. I'd be like, I need that. So I was excited when I saw that this was being released. I just didn't like them as characters that much. I liked Maya. She was definitely different than all of Allie Hazelwood's other FMCs. Definitely more strong-willed, I would say. Doing her own thing, goes off the beaten path. We know Allie Hazelwood loves the STEM world and that environment, and Maya is a part of it, but she also does her own thing, which I thought was really cool. I liked Connor too, but he just got in his way too much, which is understandable because it is like the age gap thing, and I think that weighed a lot on him. Their relationship and dynamic was very up and down. We did get bits and pieces of when they first met and kind of how their relationship built over time, and I love those flashbacks. Those flashbacks were so good, so much tension. And then once we were back in Italy with them in present day, I just didn't really feel it. Allie Hazelwood always has those shocking moments where little pieces of information is revealed and we're like, oh my gosh, that connects so much. Like, that makes so much sense, or that reveals how one character feels about the other. I didn't really feel like they were that impactful compared to other ones that have happened in her other books. I just felt a little bit of a disconnect between Maya and Connor and just the up and downs of it. It never felt stable or for sure we are doing this, we're together until the very end, which was weird. It didn't really follow her normal formula. I feel like it's fine if it's different, but I'm so used to like Deep End and Love Hypothesis. Just everything works so nicely in those books. And I'm not saying it didn't in this book, it just didn't give me the same feelings as those books did. I fear Deep End ruined every Allie Hazelwood book for me. Truly, I was looking for every aspect of that book in this one. Did love how some of the characters from past books had cameos in this book, and if you've read this, you know what I'm talking about. Specifically, the two that I was most excited for. I did show you guys a clip of that. Overall, it's not a bad book. I would highly recommend recommend it. If you love Ali Hazelwood's writing, give it a go. There's tension. There is that forbidden part of it. I wish we had a little more of like tension going on, especially from Eli, but everyone was just really mellow in this book. And I think that's kind of the thing that didn't really give me. I wanted some drama in this, and there wasn't too much drama. That is all my thoughts for the book, and that is the last book that we will be reading for this video. Quick little wrap up of all the books we've read in this video. We read Emily Henry's Great Big Beautiful Life, which we rated 5 stars. One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune, which we also rated 5 stars. I was really hoping we were going to have a 3 for 3 on 5 stars in this video, but sadly, I did rate this one 4 stars, and that is Ali Hazelwood's Problematic Summer Romance. I don't know about you guys, but these were definitely my big 3 for the summer, and I finished them just in time as summer's wrapping up. Best way, in my opinion, to end the summer. I loved all of these books. These are probably my top 3 authors right here. In terms of contemporary romance, I've read a good chunk of these authors' books, so love these. I would highly recommend reading all of these. These are all great books. So that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me read these books. Let me know what books you read this summer, which ones were your favorites, what were most anticipated for you, and if you've read these. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye.